Welcome back to MPL Recall. After a quick breather, again, our chat is still discussing Blacklist International. Ganun kalalim, ganun kahirap i-decode ang Blacklist, but all the while, you're not wrong, guys. Tama kayo na ganyan talaga kailangan kasinsin ang discussion when it comes to trying to decode the current leader in MPL Season 7. Once more, my name is Leo, joined here by Redmar the Raptor, aka Jawhead, and of course, Rob Luna. And we already covered day 1 of week 2. Let's go ahead and jump into day 2, all right? That first matchup was between Aura PH and Bren Esports. Now, this series did not disappoint. It was a 3-game series. Nanalo ang Aura PH. Pero yung game 1, man, yung game 1, yun yung, wala na. I think in the words of Wolf, I have lost the capability to can. Raptor, you casted that match.
Oo nga, kami nag-casted din. Like, talaga, it was, now, behind the scenes, we were arguing na, uy, kung hindi yun nangyari, baka manalo pa Aura. Like, pero para sa akin, dahil nga 3 lanes push na, it was still a substantial gold lead by Bren. Mahirap makaka-comeback doon ang Aura. Hindi imposible, pero mahirap. But yun nga, unfortunate lang yung nangyari. Yung theory ni Wolf doon is, for a few moments, yung nakikita nyo ngayon, huminto dyan si Ash kasi tumingin sa ibang parte ng mapa. Parang lumalakad lang siya and then like lumipat yung cursor niya sa mapa para tignan yung nasa yung mga bang miyembro ng Aura or something. But I don't want to blame it all on Ash kasi maganda din yung ginagawa nung Bren Esports in the mid lane para hindi makabalik yung mga miyembro ng Aura. But I think Rob, nung nanood ka sa bahay mo, parang meron ka din na-observe dun eh.
Yeah, well, ang pinaka-na-observe ko talaga doon is actually pinanood ko siya 3 beses and I think it was the Jawhead yung at fault during the time. I think it was na-miscalculate niya yung paglabas ng minion waves eh. I think 15 seconds pa yata before lumabas yung minion wave. So it was first I think JP nilampasan niya yung minion wave na papunta sa base. Secondly is actually the Claude ni Hades na hindi rin niya pinansin yung paparating doon sa base, and even Kilowash parang parang tinignan niya pa like a split second kung i-def niya ba or hindi. Pero yeah, we're not looking for a blame dito, pero ang gusto ko lang i-highlight doon sa game number 1 yung Winions nga is that yung reset na ginawa ng Aura PH going game 2 and game 3. Kumbaga, this is a devastating loss. I think it's winnable eh. This is winnable to be honest since they have a Claude. Pero yung reset na ginawa nila and to be able to take the whole series after this kind of loss, yun yung talagang hinangaan ko for Aura.
Yep, gotta agree. I mean, sobrang ikli nung oras para isipin na guys, move on tayo. Ang pangit na nangyari nung game 1. We have to get back on our feet. And essentially, that's what happened. That was the story that we were telling here in this 3-game series. The highlights are gonna continue playing. But real quick, Rob, yung MVP yata nung game 1, and I think what gave us hope na parang this weekend, Bren might be back, is si Minion TZ, alright? Ang daming nag-post sa social media. Kahit di ka fan ng MPL, nakita mo yung Minion na yun. Nakita mo sa feed mo yung Siege Minion na yun. So I think, I want to hear your thoughts again. Let's break it down. Paano nga ba nangyari yung Minion TZ?
Minion. Sabi nga nila si Coco daw yun eh. yung Minion na yun. Pero like what I've said earlier, no, yun nga hindi napansin ng Jawhead. So that's what actually happened, mga kaibigan. So parang nalampasan niya, then suddenly si Hades hindi rin talagang magde-def. Parang parang miniscalculate nila, and I think they were thinking ahead during that time na parang they want to push forward kasi masyado nga silang ipit na sa base, and parang they were like sitting ducks na naghihintay na lang na mag-respawn yung Lord and doon natatapusin ng Bren. So Aura PH is actually trying to think of a way kung paano sila makaka-outplay and at least get half part of the map or at least win the game itself.
I agree, and I think without Minion TZ, parang hindi rin ma-unlock yung Super Saiyan mode ni Kilowash ng Game 2. He played a very, very good Tams, and good is an understatement. And the moment you're seeing now, this is what, 12 minutes in? Sobrang bilis ng game na to eh. Sobrang bilis ng Game 3.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, Reptar, is there anything else Bren could have done? Because their lineup with Cal TZ on the Lancelot and everyone else, parang comfort picks natin. Well, except maybe the Popolin Koopa on Lusty. That was the one that's a little odd.
Well, yeah, it was a little odd, but I want to commend Bren for, of course, trying something new, branching out. Teams have tried it before, putting Popol and Koopa in that position. So we're seeing the defending champions try to grow and try to improve on more. Now, I feel like it was also just they were the victim of kating-katay na mag-ML si Hades para makalaro ulit sa MPL, and he just absolutely popped off. Isipin nyo, 2 games yon back to back na hindi siya namatay on that Granger. I think just 1 death. Pero if my memory serves me correctly, wala talaga siyang deaths on that Granger. And of course, with the change in the lineup, iba din yung rotation nyo and yung galaw nyo. It's the psychological part of ML na yung sanay mo na okay, ganito gumalaw si Reflexia, but then hindi pala si Reflexia kalaban mo na support is JP. So little things like that probably added up. And now for this lineup, I'm not sure kung pwede pa natin sabihin na this was better than the debut lineup, pero I hope we see more of it because it's really fun to watch. One unforgettable moment is the rotation of the Granger nung game 2. What Aura did there, sobrang simple, and from that moment, wala na, talo na yung Bren. Or it was so hard for Bren to come back kasi sobrang bilis mag-snowball ng Granger. JP and Greed invaded, na-distract yung mga miyembro ng Bren. Yung rotation ni Hades was mid, litho, orange, steel. Pero yung Bren, di makalayas makapunta dun sa orange kasi si Greed nakag-distract siya. Dumaan nga siya sa lane between the 2 towers to distract the members of Bren. And with that moment, after the orange, nag-crammer, yun, by the time the turtle spawned, level 5 na si Granger, level 3 pa yung Brody ni Carl TZ. So to see that this lineup na hindi katulad ng debut lineup, I'm not saying that Reflexia can't do this. I'm pretty sure if Reflexia was in this, they could have pulled off this rotation too. But I hope we get to see more of this version of Aura, and then eventually balikan natin yung lineup na si JP yung nasa jungle, then si Reflexia yung tank support para makumpara talaga natin yung dalawa.
It actually makes sense. I did not know, I did not expect that JP had a jawhead, right? Jawhead. Maganda pala yung jawhead ni JP. Ikaw, Rob, when you first saw that it was gonna be Hades, Lord Hades, and JP playing, in-expect mo bang may potential siyang maging ganito ka-explosive? Again, game 2 and 3, worlds away from game 1.
To be honest, hindi ko in-expect yung chemistry nila ni JP. Siguro ang pinakamagandang explanation about that, I think, is that since JP is a jungler, even on the previous mga seasons ng Aura PH, even coming from Sunspark, parang mas siya sa tingin ko yung may pinakamalaking understanding on how farm works, how the jungler works, kung paano, kasi kung papansin mo specifically on game number 2, kung paano nilish ni JP si Hades. Kaya sabi nga ni Reptar kanina, level 3 pa lang yung Brody, level 4 na kagad yung Granger. Kasi kung papanoorin niyo yung rotation, pinagdidikit na halos ni JP yung 2 minion wave from the buff and yung, I think that was the Crammer na sabi yata kanina. Then, yun, doon pa lang, ang bilis ng rotation nung 2. Alam kasi ni JP kung paano niya i-feed off yung kanyang jungler, which is si Hades nga. And I think Hades, with the proper positioning, mas lalo silang nag-snowball. And alam nila yung mechanic and I think yun yung pinaka-difference probably ni Reflexia and as well ni JP on using such tank. And I can only say na kung ganito yung mangyayari, ito yung added flavor ng Aura PH dito na pag ito ang naging tank nila, I think mas explosive yung jungler. Meanwhile, pag si Reflexia, I think he's a more on a flexible and mobility type of tank talaga. Sabihin na natin medyo close to Chaknu style.
Yeah, to be fair, Reflexia has a few junglers in his repertoire. Like, I know that much looking back at his history as a player, not just in the MPL. Pero in the MPL, pag may sinabi kang jungler ng Aura, si JP talaga yan, di ba? And I think, Rob, just to build on your point, kung jungler ka, alam mo kung anong kailangan ng jungler. Di ba? So parang sinasapian, parang binibigyan, hinahawaan ni JP yung XP, ng XP, si Hades. Parang, Lord Hades, ito yung gagawin ko as jungler So, tutulungan kita para magawa mo yon, like to the next level. So, amazing. Wow, I'm just brain blast para si Jimmy Neutron. Wow, Arcadia. Wow, Dale. I gotta say, amazing dynamics from the veteran JP and of course, Lord Hades. We'll move on to the next matchup. I think this one is also something that the fans in the chat will appreciate. Another Blacklist International game going up against Laos Playbook Esports. Again, another team that is trying to make their name known in the MPL. Returning is Coach Panda, and they're actually off to a great start from week 1. But this time, week 2, medyo tough love yata ang binigay ng Blacklist because they got swept 2-0. Reptar, your thoughts on this matchup?
This was the match I was really excited to see because I thought it would be much closer, but now I'm sure LPE isn't using it as an excuse na hindi sila kasama sa camp. But then outside of that, there were also lapses in decision in game number 1 na they kept forcing trying to take the purple buff for like the first 3 minutes. And then since kalaban mo ang Digi and kalaban mo ang Popolin Kupa, they don't need to do much para ma-disrupt ka. Na they will keep coming back, and since naka-pull yourself together yung Digi, ang bilis ng pagbalik niya. So just from then on, just from that moment, it was so hard for LPE to come back. And then game 2, it was just could have been closer, but then Blacklist also pulled off. I like though that I feel like as the season goes on, we'll start to see that LPE is a team that can also bring out some pretty good drafts. So I'm excited to see them start playing together, you know, sa camp nila. But from here, we just saw the potential of how good LPE could become later into the season, given a little bit more time. Pero yung Blacklist naman, it was just another added thing to their proof na pre, ang lakas talaga ng Blacklist ngayon.
Yep. Actually, pinakitaan tayo ng Blacklist na hindi nila kailangan ng masyadong crazy strategies, and that's something we'll cover later on. But real quick, looking at the comments, saying what's up to Caster of the year 2020 for the MPL, Manjin Faldas, one half of the most winningest duo in Philippine Shoutcasting, as well the face of Philippine Shoutcasting. Nandyan din ang M2 World Championship analyst, si Wolf aka Ocho Gahaba, the analyst for Onyx PH, and as well si Wise ng Blacklist International. Nandyan siya. What's up? Sabi niya, tank ko na to. We'll see. I'm not doubting it, but we'll see. Rob, your thoughts on this series right here, 2-0 by Blacklist?
To be honest, it's hard to comment dyan sa game na yan. Kasi whenever well, sabi naman ni Coach Panda na parang they don't want to put excuses since, yun it is what it is talaga yung nangyari sa kanila. Pero I think there was an highlight thing na sinabi ni Panda na they were really giving heroes to aspect na with less decision making. And I would just like to see na dumating yung time on the MPL Season 7 na magkakasama sila, number 1. Number 2 is mabigyan ng mga emphasis yung mga hero nila kung ano yung mastery talaga nila. Aspect is a very good assassin user, pero hindi niya magamit yung mga ganong klase ng hero right now kasi nga medyo may mga outside factors na nangyayari on their bootcamp. And yeah, well, for Blacklist, they did very well. Like we've said on yung day number 1 natin kanina, yung side lane nila was really left unchecked most of the time, and I think teams really need to consider into looking on that one.
Yep, their side lanes covered by Oheb and Edward. Basically, anchored down na yun eh. Lalo na si Uncle Eson sa mid as the tank support, right? Now, I have a question for you guys. Even those watching at home, no, sagutin nyo na rin to. And I think it's gonna be a unanimous answer. But, you know, we could go back and forth. But I just want to know about Jawhead, aka Reptar, and Rob. You can answer first, Jawhead. Did Blacklist International win the trade? I think it's public information by now that there was a trade that went on during the offseason wherein it was V-Wise for Kyrie, right? Full clip. And I think they just got hate on for Onyx PH. Pero yun yung trade eh. V-Wise for Kyrie. And so far, do you agree? Blacklist International is winning that trade.
Well, what I can say about the addition of V and Wise into Blacklist is na match made in heaven talaga. Kasi napa-unlock mo talaga yung possibility ng utak ni Boncha na, uy, meron ako malupit na mage user. Isa sobrang lupit na support na ang daming pwede gamitin. Perfect. I am gonna use this. And then yun nga, that's what we're seeing with Blacklist. And the interesting thing about Blacklist, na a lot of us give a lot of credits to Coach Bonchan, pero Coach Bon admitted na hindi lang siya yung utak ng drafts. Venus has a lot of input. Dexstar, we haven't seen played yet, also has a lot of input behind the scenes. So that's his role as a 6-man. He helps form the drafts na nakikita natin that Blacklist brings out. And did they win the trade so far? Yes. Dahil nga sa better record and yung effect ng Blacklist sa meta ngayon. Pero undefeated ang Onyx. So, they are brilliant in their own way as well. Malakas din sila in their own way. So, of course, mas lamang ang Blacklist right now. Pero pareha sila panalo. They're both winning. Onyx is winning as well. It's just sad na hindi natin makikita ang laban nila until week 8. Sobrang tagal pa. Well, if ever there are schedule changes, maybe sooner. But then we won't see them fight until week 8. Sad.
Reptar, you just reminded me how far that is, and now I'm a little sad. Rob, ito, tanong ko rin sa'yo, same, pero you can just answer real quick, yes or no. Is Blacklist International winning the trade?
Yes. Yes.
Alright. Scores
Quick, and
should say.
I think, yes. Well, I think they not only win the trade in terms. This is Kyrie and VYs, right? So they're not. Ano siya, in terms of on the MPL side, I think it's fair. Pero what actually Blacklist won is the marketing side. And mind you guys, Blacklist International, or rather the VYs community, I think they were the nicest community that I ever saw here on the MPL. I mean, I'm not saying to anything na toxic yung sa iba, pero sa VYs community, sobrang close na. Their closeness, not only on social media, specifically on Twitter, sobrang iba yung pagmamahal nila on the VYs and the Blacklist International as a whole. So, I guess, to answer the question ulit, yes, nanalo sila sa trade in that side.
Actually, I agree, Rob. Gotta build up on that a little bit. Kahit saan ako pumunta, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, ang daming fans ng Blacklist International na sobrang bait sa akin. I'm sure to you guys as well, like, nakagana eh. So, I think that's just, karma is good gets good, and the golden rule and all that. But right now, I have another question, and it's answerable by yes or no. Is the code impossible to break? Is it unbreakable? Because as we're thinking of how to break down what their draft is, tapos may 2 weeks pang break, feeling ko may bago na namang lalabas. And again, Reptar broke it down very well. Hindi lang naman si Boncha na nag-iisip. All the players are in on it. So, Rob, do you think it's unbreakable? Is there too many possibilities that Blacklist could bring to the table? Kasi may mga nagsabi rin sa chat na parang, hindi, antayin nyo lang. Kasi kung next week titirahin ninyo si Edward and Oheb, baka naman si Eson yung may bago. So, right now, do you think it's unbreakable?
Unbreakable, I think there's no such thing sa MPL kasi bilog ang bola natin sa MPL Season 7 Pero come to think of it, siguro bigyan natin ng benefit of the doubt yung mga teams natin aside from Blacklist na they were not really looking into Blacklist International at the start of MPL Season 7. Everyone is looking sa games ng Bren Esports, kung ano na yung nadala nila from M2. Number 2 is they're looking for work. Kasi nga sabi nila, counterpart daw ng Bren noon is work. Now, sobrang left unchecked ang Blacklist International, and medyo hindi pa nag-grasp ng mga team kung paano yung tamang approach sa kanila. So, unbreakable, of course, no. Pero ang tanong is kung kailan, yun ang hindi ko masasagot. Kasi we have a week. Itong Holy Week na to, this is the time to recuperate para sa mga teams, especially sa mga nakalaban ng Blacklist. And we just have to see it on week 3 and 4 kung kakayanin nga ba nila o enough ba yung preparation nitong Holy Week na to be able to go against Blacklist International.
I love how you put it, man. It's a matter of when. All right? Reminds me of these memes. Parang Attack on Titan na ang dami natin ng mga tao dito sa loob ng Wall Maria and all that. Like, season 1, then there's like just Blacklist at the gates. Like, paano ba yan, di ba? Reptar, do you have the same mindset? Is it really a matter of when?
Yeah, because there are external factors na hindi talaga kontrolado ng any teams, specifically with the changes to the patch or the meta. When the patches come in, of course, adjustment to specific heroes, teams have to adjust. And yeah, I have to agree with Rob. Like, no one is unbreakable. Nothing is set in stone. If it is, then wow, we're witnessing one of the greatest teams of all time. Pero as history has shown us before, that the code will at some point get broken. It's just a matter of when. But masasabi ko lang sa mga teams, if teams do not catch up to Blacklist International now, then we might see Venus and Wise end up in the championship game again.
Oh, well put. Shout outs to Coach Bon, by the way, who's watching. Coach Bon, pahay ka ba doon? It's not a matter of how, but when. Dahil joke lang. We're all friends here. As social media would dictate, lahat tayo besis. LF besis. diba? Also, shout out as well to Eric Valmonte of Aces ROG. Thank you so much for supporting MPL Recall. We covered day 2 of week 2. Sa aming pagbabalik, we're gonna go check out the last day of the weekend, day 3. Tatlong series yon. So I hope you guys are still having fun and still with us. Once more, my name is Leo. This is Renmar, aka Jawhead, and Rob Luna. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.